This is Idaho News 6. Good morning, Idaho.
Welcome to Good Morning Idaho. I'm Kristen Scovira.
And I'm Matt Sizemore. Developing now, 2 people are dead and 5 people, including the suspect, are recovering after shooting at the Boise Town Square Mall. Yeah, that happened just before 2 Monday afternoon as Boise police responded to calls of shots fired inside the mall. Our Natasha Williams is live in Boise this morning. And Natasha, what are police saying so far?
Matt and Kristen, Boise Police Chief Ryan Lee called it a traumatic event for the community and also for families involved. Now, as we've mentioned, 2 people were killed in Monday's shooting. The Ada County Coroner's Office also responded to the scene, and we're expected to learn more from them today. One of the injured is a Boise police officer. They've been treated and released from the hospital. Chief Lee said during a briefing Monday, officers confronted the suspect outside of the mall.
Shortly after responding on scene, officers encountered an individual matching the suspect's description, and there was a exchange of gunfire that ensued shortly thereafter, resulting in the officer's injury, as well as the suspect being taken into custody.
We've learned the suspect is in critical condition. Chief Lee did not expand on a possible motive, but said they believe there is only one suspect and there's no ongoing danger to the area. Boise Mayor Lauren McLean also spoke during the briefing yesterday, thanking mall employees for stepping in to keep people safe.
Countless people found themselves in a situation they never would have nor should have expected. I want to thank the shopkeepers, the people in the mall that reacted so quickly to take care of folks that were there.
The mayor also went on to thank Boise police and first responders, reiterating Chief Lee's point that Boise is safe and there is not an ongoing threat. Now, because the suspect and Boise police both fired shots, the Ada County Critical Incident Task Force, they have been activated along with Meridian Police leading the investigation. Now, the mall will remain closed for the time being, but people who left items inside the mall yesterday will be able to get those today. Boise police are sharing those updates via Facebook and other social media. We'll make sure to pass them along as well. Coming up, we'll share what witnesses saw yesterday and heard as shots were fired. But for now, live in Boise, I'm Natasha Williams, Idaho News 6.
All right, Natasha, thank you. And Monday's incident is the latest in a series of recent shootings in Idaho. Just over a week ago, customers at the Buy Mart in Caldwell sheltered inside after an afternoon shooting in the parking lot there. Police say a 23-year-old man was shot as he tried to drive away from an altercation, crashing into several other cars. He was hospitalized in stable condition. Police do not believe it was a random encounter, and they think the parties involved knew each other. If you have any information on the incident, please call Caldwell Police.
In eastern Idaho, a teenage girl was arrested after a shooting incident back in May. 2 students and a staffer at Rigby Middle School were hurt in that situation. The Jefferson County Sheriff says the girl opened fire in a hallway before being subdued and hugged by a teacher until police could arrive. In the interim, police reported 2 more incidents of guns in schools. The first happened just a month ago when police say another young girl was found with a gun in her backpack at the same Rigby school. A week later in Boise, police arrested an 18-year-old at Frank Church High School after they say they found a loaded stolen gun in a backpack.
This is Frankie Catafias with the Idaho News 6 forecast.
Well, we're starting off this morning with a live look at downtown Boise, taking a look at that skyline right now. Current conditions looking pretty mild, but definitely cooler now than they were about 24 hours ago. 43 degrees, that reading in Boise. 40 degrees is what it feels like, though, because we have a wind moving out of the southeast at about 5 miles per hour. Now, that out the door checklist, if you're heading out the door on this Tuesday: coffee, keys, wallet, raincoat, and of course an umbrella. And you're probably thinking, Frankie, well, I thought we had mostly dry conditions for today, and we technically do, but heading home from work today, you're looking at the possibility of some light rain. 50-degree weather, though, we could anticipate. So again, it's not going to be nearly as cold as it could be, but it's not nearly as warm as it was yesterday.
Now the Idaho News 6 traffic report.
Time now is 6:04, and we are taking a look at traffic for the first time this morning. I-84 over at Orchard, 5 Mile, Eagle Road, and Maple Grove is looking good. We are seeing some slightly slick conditions, though, this morning. So as always, it's important as you're heading out the door just to anticipate taking things a little slow this morning. Obviously, those slick roads create not so ideal driving conditions. Here's a look at what to expect at Eagle Road in Chinden, Franklin and Milwaukee, State and Glenwood, as well as downtown Boise. Conditions are looking a little bit like a ghost town, which is not bad, especially if you're running a little behind this morning.
Thanks so much. Well, developing this morning, the White House is ready to ship out 65 million pediatric doses of Pfizer's COVID vaccine across the country.
That's right. They're anticipating that federal regulators will approve the shots for kids ages 5 to 11, starting with an FDA advisory panel today. If the full FDA greenlights the Pfizer vaccine for children, the CDC will also need to sign off before the shots are rolled out. Pfizer says trial data shows 1/3 of its adult doses is nearly 91% effective against symptomatic illness in children. Barring any hiccups, both federal agencies are expected to approve the shots.
Pediatricians who care for these kids, we want to find a solution, and it is a miracle that we potentially have one.
A Kaiser Family Foundation survey finds that about 1/3 of parents with potentially eligible children are hesitant about letting them get the shots. While Moderna's pediatric shot is still several weeks away from authorization, they say it's also highly effective in children with only mild symptoms like a headache and sore arm. The city of Caldwell will reopen buildings to the public next week. Starting November 1st, the city will resume walk-in services, while online services and appointments will remain available. The buildings originally closed in September in the wake of the statewide activation of crisis standards of care, but services were not interrupted. City officials still encourage mask use and social distancing within city buildings and say that all public facilities will be sanitized regularly. Pediatric care can be tough to come by in Idaho, specifically for those living in rural communities, as Idaho has a below-average number of pediatricians per 100,000 kids.
Yeah, as our Nicole Camarda reports, Family Medicine Residency of Idaho and St. Luke's Health System, they're looking to change that. The two are teaming up to improve pediatric care across the Gem State with a new pediatric residency program starting in 2023.
Having this pediatric residency here is going to be bringing medical school graduates who come in and do 3 years of pediatric training and then graduate and will be looking for jobs throughout the valley and really throughout the region and the state.
According to the American Board of Pediatrics, Idaho ranked 50th out of 50 for the number of pediatricians per 100,000 children in the state. Idaho has about 42 pediatricians per 100,000 kids, while the national average is nearly 90 per 100,000.
There is not a single pediatric residency that exists between Portland and Seattle and the Minnesota border if you stay north of Salt Lake City.
Dr. Perry Brown added about 60% of residents who graduate stay within 50 miles of that program to practice.
We felt like this was a great way to bring new services to our area, as well as to really increase the flow from a pipeline to have more pediatricians settle throughout Idaho.
The goal of the program is to also spread resources out to rural communities in the state. This means residents could be required to spend part of their training outside of traditional urban or suburban areas.
The goal of that is partially to get them out into different communities where they may become very excited to live and populate different portions of the state, not just the Treasure Valley. But another big piece of that is to teach pediatricians and family physicians in rural areas how to collaborate together and the value add of having a consulting pediatrician, and to develop that model so that we can have pediatricians in rural Idaho where on-the-ground pediatricians have not existed before.
St. Luke's has provided $1.7 million to help launch the program, and St. Luke's physicians will help with teaching at their locations. Nicole Camarda, Idaho News 6.
Time now is 6:08. Still to come here on Good Morning Idaho. Idaho's Teacher of the Year receives yet another honor, this time at the White House. More on his trip after the break.
And a committee is still looking into the January 6th insurrection. More on their work and the new statement from the White House on former President Trump's role in the investigation. That's next.